Fossil evidence indicates that life existed on Earth nearly 4 billion years ago. This early life left a fossil record, but to observe it, rocks containing these fossils must be cut into very thin slices and viewed using microscopes. These microscopic fossils are the remains of a 3 billion year time period when microorganisms, tiny single-celled creatures, were Earth's only inhabitants. Genetic evidence, encoded in DNA, also supports the existence of an age of microorganisms. Scientists have used DNA to determine relationships among all living organisms and to reconstruct the history of life. The result is a tree of life, on which short lines connect closely related organisms, and longer lines connect more distantly related organisms. The tree of life suggests that Earth's earliest life forms, the common ancestors of all life forms, most closely resembled microorganisms with simple cells, called bacteria and archaea. Today, the bacteria and archaea most genetically similar to Earth's earliest life live in hot springs, like those in Yellowstone. These organisms use chemicals in the hot spring water, like hydrogen and sulfur, for energy in a process called chemosynthesis, which was probably one of life's first forms of sustenance. Life is dynamic. New innovations or adaptations led to new branches on the tree of life. An important adaptation for some early microorganisms was the ability to use light for energy, photosynthesis. Photosynthetic microorganisms thrived along shallow coastlines where they formed communities called microbial mats. Great numbers of these microorganisms, together with sediment, piled up into thick layers as extensive as modern coral reefs. Microbial mat communities left fossils, called stromatolites, that are now found in modern landscapes like the mountains of Glacier National Park. Close examination reveals that stromatolites resemble living microbial mats, and microfossils found in many stromatolites resemble modern mat-building microorganisms. Through the process of photosynthesis, photosynthetic microorganisms release oxygen as waste. By 2 billion years ago, massive communities of photosynthetic microorganisms had formed enough oxygen to rust Earth's iron-rich crust, and eventually to create an oxygen-rich atmosphere. Imagine, tiny microorganisms can change the chemistry of an entire planet. Once oxygen became available, some microorganisms evolved a way to use it to sustain life more efficiently. This opened the door for the later evolution of aerobic, oxygen-breathing animal life. Along the limb of life's tree leading to animals and plants, microorganisms evolved larger and more complex cells containing a nucleus. These complex cells found another source of energy to support life, other life, making them the Earth's earliest predators. Complex cells later diversified into animal and plant-like microorganisms called protozoa, algae, and fungi. Some microorganisms with complex cells later evolved tissues comprised of many different kinds of cells and gave rise to animals and later to plants. Beginning around 600 million years ago, there was an explosion of animal and later plant diversity that left behind a rich fossil record. A decrease of stromatolites in the fossil record around the same time indicates that the earliest animals may have grazed coastal microbial mats into extinction. Today, microbial mats are only found in extremely salty and high-temperature environments like Yellowstone hot springs. In Yellowstone hot springs, predation is still evident at the lowest temperatures. However, flies that can eat mats are not found above 108 degrees Fahrenheit. Above this temperature, extensive photosynthetic mats are found up to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Chemosynthetic microorganisms are found in the near-boiling chemical-rich waters flowing from the spring itself. Scientists study microbial communities in extreme environments not only to understand the limits of life, but also to understand Earth's past and to find clues about how to seek evidence of life beyond the Earth. Astrobiologists look for evidence of microbial life because on Earth, microorganisms were present much earlier and have lived much longer than plant and animal life. They can sustain themselves in more ways, and they can survive in a wider variety of places. Life around deep-sea hydrothermal vents on Earth is fueled by microbial chemosynthesis. Do chemosynthetic microorganisms exist under the ice-covered ocean of Jupiter's moon Europa? Early Mars, like early Earth, had liquid water. Did photosynthetic microbial mats grow along Martian shorelines? Might they have left behind stromatolite fossils? Plants and animals dominate modern landscapes, but microorganisms are still abundant, behind the scenes, keeping Earth habitable for all life forms.